Good afternoon to all students of CST third year group A. So today, due to some unfortunate and unexpected situations and some untoward events, it was not possible for us to conduct a regularly scheduled lab class. So instead, what we are going to do is we are going to upload a pre-recorded video containing step-by-step instructions for solving the assignments that we've got for today. So as you can see before you, there are 4 questions numbered 1 to 4, and we are going to be solving each of these problems one by one. So let us take a look at the first problem. So it says write a program to create a checkbox using AWT. So you may have encountered a lot of checkboxes while filling out forms on the internet. So sometimes while you are say you are applying for a particular situation at a job agency, you may be required to answer what your job interests are, and they may provide you with a list of interests, and you have to select the relevant ones. Okay, you may have multiple job interests, or you may have interests in various fields, not just one field. So they have check boxes corresponding to each and every interest, and you can select the ones that suits your preference. So these are what where checkboxes are used the most. Okay, so where you have to select multiple options out of those that are given. So let us take a look at the code here. So this is the first program. Here it says class checkbox extends applet. So we are going to be using the applet class for our checkbox. So we know that for using any kind of AWT component like panel, frame, panel, text area, text field, and so on, we require some kind of container. So here this applet is serving as the container. Okay, instead of frame, we are going to be extending the applet class. So first of all, there are 2 import statements, java.applet.star, and the second one is java.awt.star. So the applet class is simply used because we are extending the applet class for our program, and the applet is serving as a container, like just as I have already mentioned to you. And the AWT class is extended because we are going to be employing the AWT component, that is the checkbox, in our code. And the definition of checkbox is already present in the AWT package. Okay, so for that particular reason, we are importing the java.awt package in its entirety. So first of all, the first line says that public class checkbox extends applet, as we are going to be inheriting the applet class. So we have used the keyword extends, and this code, for the code that is used to create the checkbox, that has been included in the init method. So we know that there are 4 methods, I think, for applets: init, start, stop, and destroy. So this init method will be called when the applet viewer is running the applet for the first time. So this method will be called only once. After that, it will not be called again. So here what we have done is we have included the entire code for creation of the applet, for the creation of the checkbox inside the init method. Alright, and the first checkbox is we are extending that we are creating an object of the checkbox constructor, an object of the checkbox class, and by using this new keyword, and the name of the object is checkbox1. And here what we are doing is we are labeling the checkbox using this set label command. So we could have assigned a name inside this parameter itself. So we could have written checkbox1 equals new checkbox, and inside the inverted comma we could have inside the parenthesis we could have specified the name of the checkbox, that is my checkbox1, inside these parentheses. But we didn't do that. We have left this field blank, and instead what we are doing is we are simply creating a set label command. So we are taking the object of the checkbox class, which is checkbox1, and we are separately assigning a name to that particular checkbox using the set label option, and the name of the checkbox is my checkbox1. So this is one way of creating a checkbox, and the second way is the most commonly used method. So we are creating an object of the checkbox class called checkbox2, and inside this new checkbox, that is, while we are creating an object, we are referencing the checkbox class, and here what we are doing is we are calling the constructor of the checkbox class. Okay, so while we are calling the constructor, we are passing two parameters to it. The first one is the name of the checkbox, which is my checkbox2, and the next one is the value, which is true or false. So here we have assigned the true value, which means the checkbox will be checked by default. Okay, so in the previous checkbox that we have created, there was no value specified, so that one will be unchecked, so it will be false. So and finally we are adding the two checkboxes to our code by using the add checkbox1 command and add checkbox2 command. Okay, so this is how we can create a checkbox using AWT. So let me just run the code and check for the output. So here you can see there are two checkboxes, and the first one is labeled my checkbox1 and the second one is my checkbox2. And here you can see that unlike what we did in case of frames, we have not assigned any kind of set visibility parameter, or we haven't specified the size of the applet window either. Okay, so the applet class creates a new applet window, and it assigns a default size to the applet window. Okay, and we are also not using any kind of set bounds command to set the positions of these checkboxes. So these checkboxes are, the positions of these checkboxes are assigned dynamically by the Java compiler, or rather the applet, depending on the size of the container. So if I reduce the size of the container, you can see those checkboxes are placed one after another on separate lines. But if we enlarge the applet window, we can see that the two checkboxes are positioned next to each other with a gap of just one gap between them. Okay, so the positions are not being assigned using the set bounds parameter. The positions are being calculated dynamically depending on the size of the viewable window, right? So this is the first method of solving. So this is the one of the ways of creating checkboxes using by extending the applet class. And the secondary method, which is the most often used, is by extending the frame class. There you will have to either extend the frame class, or you can use the association method as well. So I'm not showing you that method. I believe it has already been covered in your theory classes. Anyhow, if you want to do that, you will have to create a new frame, and then you will have to create the component that you want to include. So that is the checkbox in our case, and you will have to add them manually to your frame using the frame object.add command. Okay, in case you are not extending the frame class but using the association method. So that's all for this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video. So take care everybody.